quest'anno con Tacchini abbiamo ripreso in mano uno dei pezzi classici di Gianfranco Frattini, un pezzo icone degli anni 70 con un nome anche molto particolare che abbiamo deciso di mantenere, il nome Cézanne, l'espressione milanese per indicare un periodo di 6 anni. 6 anni che erano passati dall'ultimo progetto precedente per il produttore di allora.
Sicuramente una caratteristica dei design di mio padre sono sempre stati la loro essenzialità. Ho sempre usato delle linee molto pulite, e forse questa è anche un po' la chiave per interpretare il successo dei pezzi, perché ci sono pezzi disegnati appunto negli anni 70 che ancora oggi mantengono una loro ragione di esistere, la ragione di essere collocati in ambienti attuali. E da questo punto di vista sì, devo dire sicuramente l'idea della semplicità è sempre stata anche un po' qualcosa che ha accompagnato i disegni di mio padre.
Era anche un decennio nel quale negli interni si disegnavano le sale da pranzo e i saloni con le pedane, per cui con una diversità di livelli che si riscontra anche in questo pezzo. Un pezzo anche molto usato per spazi comuni, mi ricordo l'Hilton di Tokyo per esempio, dove è stato usato questo pezzo in combinazioni di 3 posti, 2 posti e poltrone, in cui questa collezione era stata ideata, e abbiamo anche riproposto con Tacchini, quindi disponibile in versione poltrona, divano 2 posti e divano 3 posti. Questo forse è il pezzo che meglio dimostra l'idea di questo volume imbottito al quale poi viene data forma e struttura da un mollettone metallico, che è l'idea del pezzo, perché mi ricordo gli schizzi, le prime idee, era proprio l'idea di dare una struttura e un'eleganza a un'imbottitura diciamo abbastanza ampia e molto molto piena. Tipico degli anni 70 è l'uso del tubo cromato, che è la struttura portante di questo pezzo. Dà veramente l'impressione di un pezzo di imbottito al quale viene data la forma da questo tubo cromato che lo costringe. Un pezzo comunque tecnicamente anche molto complesso. L'imbottitura di questo pezzo non è una cosa da tutti, è un pezzo per un'azienda con un ottimo reparto di tappezzeria e imbottitura, e devo dire i risultati sono eccellenti, nonostante la quantità di manodopera e le ore di lavoro richieste per l'esecuzione di questo pezzo, si è comunque arrivati a una realizzazione che lo renda comunque ancora un prezzo accessibile al mercato.
Here we are presenting a new chair called Pisa. And this is a chair for solitude sitting, and it has a very elegant architectural presence.
Well, I think the most complex thing to try to achieve is to make simple shapes, because they have to have all of the functions to fit the sitting person, and yet maintain the simplified architectural spirit, a kind of iconic spirit.
The way we work together, the 3 of us, when we start designing something, it's usually we just start with an idea, maybe a spoken idea, not even a sketch, an idea about something. And then it's discussions and discussions and discussions. And because there are 3 of us, and we are almost never have the same opinion about anything. so it's a lot of discussions and a lot of redoings and redesigning before we are happy. And we usually try not to do anything until all of us are really happy with it. And actually doing the drawings and that thing, that is kind of, I would not say the easy part, but the discussions before about the idea has been so many and for such a long time. So when we sort of start doing the models, like little models, it's not so difficult. It's almost ready as an idea. I think everything we have done for Tacchini started with a very, very strong idea, and then came the design.
A process of creativity is never linear. It can be coming from anywhere, and it can be coming from, as I said, from a problem, or it can be from an idea that some of us have thought about, and then we start thinking of it, and we try to find a company that we think can manage to take this idea on and to create it together with us.
The new armchair collection is Dot. The name is Dot, and is the result of a new collaboration with the famous Tacchini brand. The brief was very simple: is to start to think about together a very simple collection of armchair. It's a family. Today we present the armchair, but the idea is to push on the market a family around this Dot product. It's very simple. It's the result of the good balance between design, comfort, and a classic product. It's a concept because the idea in the end is to propose a family of products with different legs, with different finishing, and we are very happy today to present the first step of this project. Yeah, the sign is very simple. It's a balance between design and comfort and ergonomy. The small armrest, but armrest. The back is it's good proportion. It's not so big, it's not so small. It's good for contract because this is the idea. The idea Tacchini wants to introduce on the market a very simple chair, a very simple armchair for contract for your house, but good proportion for abitare and contract project. Yeah, the color is a real subject. Every time the color. Today we make the choice for the fair to present some color, but the life of this product is to play. We play with a lot of color with the Tacchini collection of fabric. But the idea is to marry two different materials. For example, this one we married the leather on the back and the fabric on the front to associate two different finishing and to propose a lot of possibility to combine the fabric and the leather, the totally in fabric, totally in leather, because it's possible to marry and to assemble different material. No, we asked together because we start together the collaboration 4 years ago. Year after year, we exchange a lot with the family of Tacchini family, and now we spoke the same language. It's very important for me when I start a new project. It's a collaboration with the brand, and now we discover together the right position on the design and to exchange together the quality of the exchange. And the brief was simple because we spoke together about to introduce a very good product for the market, good balance with price too, the process too, and we optimate all the elements to propose a product justo on the Tacchini collection.
This is Nebula that we've developed for Tacchini. It's a very, very simple screening system that's comprised from 3 organic shapes. The 3 shapes can be installed either on a floor-standing, very simple X, moved around against each other to create an interplay, or they can be hung from the ceiling at different heights and joined with the floor-standing units. There's sound absorbency, so the idea is that it'll create some definition in the space. It'll separate, produce enclosure, privacy, and focus.
We see it as quite a feminine object, and it, the quality of the products of Tacchini has a sensitivity and a sensuality which is very strong, and so we didn't want, as almost a contract piece, we didn't want it to be too hard, and so we were looking for those forms which we've used before with Tacchini of natural forms, of like polar or stone, where we have a kind of soft, almost nature-forming set of shapes, and so that's where we started with the Nebula product.
Wanting to produce something that was very flexible and inherently neutral in the environment, and so just like the name, which is about expanding galaxies, the shapes are really like bubbles, which you can imagine just being gently squeezed by proximity between other shapes.
Nebula has arrived out of the market it has this growing need for private spaces, both in office and also in hospitality areas. And there's a sense of needing small enclosures for meetings or for small social spaces. We wanted to make something that was much more informal, more relaxed for the Tacchini brand. And so we decided to make this series of panels that can be positioned and collected in many different ways, and that can work with any seating program. So it's not only defined to go with one seating part, and it can be also reconfigured by the user. It's not so fixed.
So Nebula's constructionally very, very simple. There are two skins which are sandwiched onto a steel base so it can be sent out flat pack.
So the market, over a 5-year period, what was right 5 years ago is no longer right today. So even though we have to keep continuing to design new pieces, we also have to respond to what the market is needing. For example, this Nebula is a response to this whole idea of privacy, which is much more relevant and interesting now than it was 5 years ago, when it wasn't really in the consciousness. So we have to respond to what the market and what the fashions are happening at the same time as finding new products for the company.